I.S.U.P.K.
We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Only men prepare to die. We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Never let their colors fly. We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Only men prepare to die.
The least in the kingdom of heaven. Right. That is a disgrace. Meaning that if you're teaching against the laws of the Bible, if you're teaching that you should not look out for your brother, but you have favor, that's why you have so many good things happening to you, and you won't reach out to help your brother, and you won't teach him the true laws of the Bible, and you'll eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You'll sleep with your brother's wives. You'll steal when you want to. Then you will be called least in the kingdom. This is Christ speaking. Why ain't anybody saying anything about this? Why is it talked about that you can basically do what you want? You can even be a homosexual because you're born that way. That's what the white society teaches. You can sit there and have sex with animals if you want to. That's what white society teaches. The first thing they're gonna tell you though, peace, brother. We all love each other. But it is countless acts that have built their society up to where it is now. They got an empire of the blood, sweat, and tears of the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And now they want to give them a little piece back. You put these Native Indians on these reservations when they had control of the whole land. You killed the buffalo. All the buffalo that they used to hunt, it's a very few left. But you killed them just for the sake that that was their resource. That was how they survived in the winter, by wearing the coats. That's how they could carry water, by drying out their bellies and using them as canteens. The Native Indian did not just waste the buffalo, he used every part of it to feed his family and his tribe. And then the white man comes and not only destroys the Native Indian's family, but he destroys his resource. And this is your brother? This is the one that wants to have all peace? Let's keep going.
But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Whoever teaches them the truth will be labeled great in the kingdom of heaven. That's what we're doing right now.
That's right.
We care about our people. Let me tell you something. You name me another group that'll stand out in 100-degree weather with humidity, and the only reason for them to come out is to reach out to their brothers and sisters and tell them their true identity. You name me another. Because they really don't care about their people.
That's right.
The rich should be out here saying the same thing. They should be having fans out here. They should be feeding us. Only thing we doing is waking our people up. We just tell the truth of the Bible, but we get scrutinized for it. But do we care? Hell no. Because at the end of the day, we have a kingdom on the line. We have a nation to build. And we got a lot of work to do. My whole point is, it is very important, Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, to go by the laws. The laws of the Bible, the true Bible. if we don't go by the laws, we're going to get lost into this society that they said that you have a part of. Last time I checked, in their own constitution, you consider 3/5 of a being, a man. Why ain't that law been changed? According to the 13th Amendment, slavery never went anywhere. If you get locked up, they don't have to pay you for the labor that you do. That's why you get cents on the dollar, and they act like they doing you a favor when you locked up. Slavery ain't went nowhere. Even if you on the outside, slavery is mental now. Our people actually think because they walk amongst these people that don't care nothing about them, that rather be in 100-degree weather, getting drunk, laughing, singing, while you starving in your neighborhoods. You rather be around these people? These are heathens, man. We gotta wake up. Keep going.
Matthew 19:17. And he said unto him, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one.
This is Christ. Because a child walked up to Christ and said that he is good. Christ is such a humble man. Yes, he's a man. He was not God walking. If you look in, I believe it's Matthew 1, it tells you the lineage of Christ. If you have a lineage, that means you had a male father. You had a physical father.
Right.
Christ is saying, my father is good. Meaning, talking about the Most High. Christ was that humble. But let's see what else he said in the scripture.
That is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
Christ is telling you, if you really want to live, if you don't want to be a slave to society, if you don't want to be what they're trying to make you to be. Black man, let me tell you something, man. White society wants to take your masculinity, bro.
That's right.
Why do you think that there's tight clothes like they wear?
Right.
Why do you think homosexuality is pushed so strong? And they rather see you feminized because a masculine, black, Hispanic, or Latino man is threatening to this man.
That's right.
He does not want you to be a strong brother that goes by the laws of the Bible. It is all about protecting his family and his nation. The minute we talk about protecting our nation, waking our nation up, they consider us racist. But they never look at what they do to consider themselves racist.
Right.
They'll even throw their ancestors under the bus. They'll say that they did that. I didn't do that. Let me tell you something when they use that excuse. We didn't go against the curses. Our ancestors went against the curses. If you want to use that excuse, that means nothing. We sinned in the world that we were in when we believed what white society was telling us.
Right.
That's the true meaning of grace. That's your grace period. Your grace period is when you out here sinning and doing everything against the laws.
Right.
That's why Christ came, so he could teach you how to fight your flesh. And once you get back to these laws, and you get back to your nationality and your identity, and you go by the laws of the Bible, then you'll understand this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what Christ was talking about.
Right.
People talk about Christ but don't even understand the man.
Right.
He was fighting for the lost sheep of Israel.
That's right.
He was not fighting for everybody.
Right.
It even says this in the Bible. We don't make this up. Let's keep reading.
We'll be out here all day. Just get one. Yeah, so we straight. So we have
Verse 19. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Honor thy mother and thy father, and honor thy neighbor as thyself. Those are the same laws we see in the Old Testament. Why is Christ talking about the same laws to obey that was in the Old Testament? If the laws are supposed to be done away with. He's quoting the same laws. But you being told not to go buy them? Let me ask you something, Israel, why is that? Why are you allowed to do what you want to do? But as long as you pay your tithes, everything is gravy. Let's keep reading. We about to go to 1 John 2 and 3. Because another thing this world teaches, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian, that you can't be perfect. You can be perfect. In the eyes of white society, being perfect is having perfect hair, perfect eyes, blonde eyes, blonde hair, blue eyes, built up real strong, got a great paying job, hundreds of thousands a year, a big house. That's his idea of perfect. Please show me that in the Bible. You show me that in the Bible, I'll listen. That's not what the Bible says. Let's see what the Bible's talking about when it talks about to be perfect.
1 John 2 and 3. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments.
What he's saying there, when we know him, if you go by the laws, you understand the Most High. You understand the true meaning of what it means to love the Most High. You understand what it means to really love your nation. How to go by these laws, how to obey these laws, and how detrimental it is, how important it is. Keep reading.
He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar.
That's telling you right there. Anybody telling you that you're supposed to keep his laws and you don't, you cannot trust that man. He's not even keeping them. So how's he going to tell you to keep them? So what is he really teaching? Let's keep reading.
And the truth is not in him. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected.
Say that again.
But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected.
Right.
The love of God is perfected.
Right.
This is what the Bible is saying. How do you reach that perfection? You reach that perfection by going by the laws.
That's right.
It's very simple. I understand our people though. We've been oppressed for so long, we think wrong is right.
Right.
We think right is wrong. We even have a problem with tearing ourselves away from all these heathen nations.
Right.
The Lord told you that you're above all nations.
Damn right.
This is in the Bible.
That's right.
If he's telling you that you're above all nations, what reason would it be for you to mix with them?
That's right.
You're supposed to stay dedicated to your nation.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
They can call you a racist all they want to. They just showing their stupidity.
Right.
Because that's not being a racist, according to their definition. You just care about your people.
Right.
Let me ask you something. When you go to an Asian restaurant, it's nothing but Asians working there.
That's right.
When you go to Chinatown, like you see in New York and Chicago, there's nothing but Chinese,
That's right.
Asian. They build up their communities. Even the white man himself talks about it's nothing wrong with mixing, but is he mixed?
Right.
You go to these white neighborhoods, they run from you, black man.
That's right.
When you try to move out there, they feel like there's a threat.
Right.
When they hear us speaking right now, they feel like there's a threat.
That's right.
When these police sit here and pull you over, you are a threat.
Right.
Trayvon Martin got killed because he was a threat to the white man.
That's right.
And that was a young brother on the way home. Philando Castile pulling out the ID that the police asked for and got killed in front of his little girl and his woman.
Right.
Because to the white man, you are a threat.
Right.
Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian, it's always been like that.
That's right.
It's always been like that.
Hereby know we are in him.
Now we finna go to Romans, right? We gonna go to Romans so we can sit here and cut up what all these preachers teach about grace, which is a straight up lie. You cannot use grace as a reason to do what you want to do.
That's right.
You act like grace is a person that comes and swoops down and saves you. I'm saved by grace. That's not even the true meaning of that. Even if you look at your bills, right? You got a grace period. Does that mean you've been saved by grace?
Right.
No, it means you've been given a window of time to get your bill paid off. Well, the bill that you need to get paid off is all the sin that we're doing against these laws.
Right. That's right.
That's what grace is. Once Christ came down and explained how to fight your flesh, he was that sacrifice for you.
Right.
Because the Most High should have killed you a long time ago.
Right.
I'm talking to the black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian. You think about everything that you've done, man. You should have been killed a long time ago, according to the Bible. Christ came down to be that sacrifice for you and teach you the truth. So let's understand what grace is right now.
Romans 6:1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin?
So the scripture is saying, should we continue in sin? Should we continue being lesbians? Should we continue being homosexuals? Should we continue smoking that weed? Could we continue selling that dope? Should we continue marrying all these other races? Let's see what the Bible said.
That grace may be abound? God forbid.
That said, God forbid. It's almost like saying, hell no.
Right. Right.
You are not supposed to be going against these laws, man.
Right.
That grace period is a time for you to come back to the truth, for you to understand these laws, go by these laws,
Right.
and teach these laws.
That's right.
Let's go to the truth of this Bible is going to be brought out by us. You will constantly see this white man make excuses. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian, you don't have an excuse. This is where you're supposed to be.
Right.
Everything you've tried does not work. You tried to be part of the Moorish Science Temple. That ain't work. You tried to be a Christian. That ain't work.
Right.
You tried to be a Muslim. That ain't work.
Right.
They even accept the white man. You need to wake up to what the truth is and understand what we know. Let's go.
Romans 6:14. For sin shall not have dominion over you.
Sin will not have dominion over you. You can beat this. You can fight sin. Let's keep going.
For ye are not under the law, but under grace.
Now, this is a scripture that they'll use to throw at you, saying you're not under the law. You're under grace.
Right.
This is what the preacher uses. Let's keep going.
What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? God forbid.
Again, we just seen God forbid. What do we know that means? Hell no.
Right.
You're not supposed to be sinning. And what's it even really mean when it's saying not under the law? What you got to understand is, like I said before, when Moses was given the law by the Most High, you ain't go by them laws, you get punished right on the spot.
That's
Priests
right.
come out, slaughter you right there, because it was God's laws. Christ came to teach you how to fight your flesh. He came to be that sacrifice for you. Because the Lord knew that you needed something to get your mind right. You can't just be using in the Old Testament, they would use, you sacrifice your best bull, or your best cattle, or dove. You sacrifice that, now you clear from the sin. You can't do that. Christ was that sacrifice.
Right.
Now, what's your part? You got to go by these laws. That's your part. Let's get 1 John 3 and 4. That's funny how white man would sit there and talk about how fair society is for you. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian.
Right.
How everything is equal.
Right.
Martin Luther King came and allowed you to come in our stores.
Right.
And spend your money. And get your head bashed in. And get your churches bombed.
Right.
And get your ass beat down on the bridge.
Right.
And then we looked up to him and put up monuments and named bridges. And in every single city, you're going to find a Martin Luther King Boulevard.
That's right.
We looked up to him, and I say we because our sisters and brothers that are lost out here. I.S.U.P.K woke up. I just want to make that clear.
Right.
But I say we because I want to talk in general because this is our nation too. And we looked up to this man like he was a god. And at the end of the day, he did more damage to our nation than just about anybody could have.
Right.
He integrated us when we should have been separate.
That's right.
If we're supposed to be integrated, why would a man take a .40 caliber gun, which most police use, and put it up to a 3-year-old's chest? Why would he take a couple of his buddies? These are the police. This really happened in Chicago, Illinois. The little girl name was Davinia Simmons. She was 3 years old, sitting in her living room. These police bust in that house, puts that .40 cal right to the 3-year-old's chest, like she's a threat.
Right.
Takes the other gun and puts it on her grandmother, like she's a threat.
Right.
Then takes his elbow and shoves her face into the wall and puts a 9mm up to her face,
Right.
like she's a threat.
Right.
And we're supposed to be together? We're supposed to be all hand in hand, brothers and sisters? The whole reason why those policemen broke into her house was they were looking for a drug dealer. They broke into that young lady's house, that 3-year-old's house, and their family without a search warrant, without knocking on the door. They did what you call in the street a kick door.
Right.
What that is when you literally bust through somebody's front door, ask no questions, and pull the guns out on them. This is terrorism in America.
That's right.
When you got policemen, oh man, I struck a nerve with this white woman. She'll see how she just looked at me. It is terrorism. The white man in America is afraid of terrorism, but his children are taking AR-15s in schools and laying people out.
That's right.
He's mad about terrorism. When 9/11 hit, we all was brothers then. He looked at us like we should help him against Arabs because he was afraid of terrorism.
Right.
Let me put something on you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian. You've been terrorized since day one of you coming off those ships and coming into this land.
That's right.
You were terrorized. You've been under terrorism.
Right.
If not, explain to me all the killings in the street by police officers.
Right.
Explain to me why a policeman would sit there and pull out a .40 caliber gun on a 3-year-old child.
Right.
And then they want to use the excuse that we got the wrong house. A black 3-year-old child.
Right.
Davinia Simmons. We do our research. We talk about the truth of what's going on in society, in white society, that they don't want to talk about. They don't want to bring that to the forefront. They awarded their family $2.3 million. That's it. That's all it was worth. That's nothing compared to the riches and the resources they have. They awarded them $2.3 million 1.3 went, now 1 million went directly to the 3-year-old for fun. To this day, that 3-year-old child is traumatized. They say, her mother says every time she hears police sirens, every time she sees policemen, she runs scared for her life.
Right.
But will you ever hear white society talk about this or do anything about it? Or get a GoFundMe page for her? Hell no.
Right.
But this people call you their brother and sister.
Right.
Let's keep going.